Good morning, boys and girls. Can you remember what is a raw material? Let's quickly remind ourselves. A raw material is when I take something from nature and I use it just like that. For instance, I'm chopping down a tree and I'm going to use the wood for firewood or to build a house. A manufactured material, while a manufactured material is something that I have to put through a process in a factory. So I take the raw material, it goes to the factory, and they create something new of it. Now, the day before yesterday, you had to read about how paper is made. Now, paper is made from a raw material that we get from trees. Can you remember what those are? It's wood. Now, in order to make paper, we also read that it has to go through a process where it is pulped, it is whitened and refined, and it's converted. And people have a choice, or not people, but the factory have a choice if they are going to do a mechanical pulping. In other words, they are going to use a machine to separate the fibers, or they're going to do a chemical pulping. They're going to cook the wood chips at a very high temperature with other chemicals to separate the plant fibers. Now, boys and girls, why would we use wood for paper? Why can't I use sheep's wool to create paper? The reason is very, very simple. Wood have certain properties after it is manufactured that allows it to become paper. Now you're going to ask, sure, Mom, what is a property? And this is what we're going to look at today. It's called properties of materials. And what does that mean? If I say something has a property, what does it mean when I look at the word property? So this is when something has a special quality that helps it to do its work correctly. In other words, if we take a look at a windscreen glass, we know that windscreen glass is in front of the car where your mommy drives. She looks out of the windscreen glass, so that she can see the traffic. So what properties do windscreens have? Why would I use glass for it? Glass has a property where it's transparent. In other words, I can see through it. So your mommy can see all the traffic on the road. The second reason why they use glass is because it is safer. In the process of making a windscreen, they apply a piece of glass with laminating, like a type of plastic in between, and they add a next piece of glass. So this glass is reinforced, which means they made it stronger. And this helps that if there's a rock in the road and it hits your mom's windscreen, the windscreen will crack, but it won't break. And the reason is to keep people inside the car safe. And the last reason is because when people are driving and they come into an accident, then the glass would also help to keep the passengers inside. It's not always the case for that last one, but small or light accidents, usually the windscreen just cracks. So let's take a look at some examples. Here you will find a blue ruler. What property does a ruler have? It is straight. But if I bend the ruler a little bit, we can see that it can be bended. So it's flexible. In some cases, we get rulers that are really flexible. If we take a look at the pan is made out of iron or steel, but the handle is either made out of plastic or wood. And the reason for this is the pan is a metal which helps the food to cook quicker. But because a metal heats up very quickly, we need a plastic or wooden handle so that we don't burn our hands. The next one is a big steel gate. The reason why people put up big steel gates is because they are strong. So not anybody can just break this gate and come into your home. Then we have some garden gloves. These are special garden gloves. The reason why garden gloves have such thick material is when you are pruning your roses and working in the garden, it keeps your hands clean and also protects your hands from scratches from the roses and pricks from the thorns. But on this glove, you will also see it's got metallic fingers, which helps you to dig a hole with your glove. And then we've got a woolen jersey. You recognize this one. This is to keep you warm in winter. And wool has special little holes in between the fibers that allow air to absorb your body heat, and it works as a little heater inside of the wool to keep you nice and toasty the whole day. Okay, so what type of properties do materials have? There are a few. If you look at the pink ones, these are the ones that you have to know this year. But next year, the black ones you also have to know the black ones. So let's take a look. Strength and weakness. So something can be strong and weak. Something can be flexible or stiff. Now, flexible means to bend. Something can be very hard or soft, and something can be waterproof or absorbent. Now, let's take a look at the materials that we need to be strong or weak. So here are a few examples. We have got a devil's fork fence. This is a strong fence with sharp edges at the top so that intruders don't break into your home and they don't climb over the fence. We've got a very big strong bridge there. That big strong bridge is supposed to carry all the weight of the cars and trucks passing from the one side of the city to the next. And we've got a bicycle. This bicycle has to have a strong frame, so when you fall, the frame doesn't break and injure you. But then we have materials that we need to be weak. For instance, an eggshell. When you want to make scrambled eggs, you don't want to hit the egg with a hammer. We want it to break open easily. Your Christmas present wrapping should also be very weak, because you don't want to struggle to open your presents at Christmas time. And a match. We also need a match to be weak so that we don't break them so easily, but also because we don't want to struggle lighting the match. Now we're going to look at the materials that need to be stiff or flexible. If you take a look at the stiff material, we have Susati sticks. Now these are the wooden sticks your mom will put into the meat before you braai them. The reason why they must be stiff is so that they keep the shape of the meat intact, and also to make sure that the meat doesn't fall off. Then we've got a takeaway container. Imagine if your takeaway container was very flimsy. Your food will fall out. So they need to have a stiff and fixed container, and also a moving box. Your moving box needs to be stiff in order so that when mommy is packing in her glasses and glass plates, the bottom won't just fall open and everything falls out and it breaks. So the box must be firm. The other one is flexibility. Have you seen all those videos where people bungee jump? These ropes are very flexible and stretchy, and they can bend any way that you want them to. This is so that they can carry the force of your body weight. Think of a trampoline. A trampoline is also very flexible. Then we've got a cell phone charger. If your cell phone charger's wire was very stiff, you won't be able to charge your phone anywhere that you want it to. It has to be able to bend and move to go around your table or your desk or anything. And then we have a cable tie. We use cable ties to tie things together, and a cable tie should be able to bend or be flexible enough so that it doesn't break and keep the things together that we want it to. Then we're going to take a look at another property, materials that need to be hard and soft. If we take a look at the hard one, we've got a diamond. Ooh, that's beautiful, right? Now, a diamond is the hardest material that we can find on earth. If you smash it with a hammer, it's not going to break. There we've got a hammer. A hammer must be very hard, so that when you hit the nail, it doesn't damage the hammer and the nail will go in where you want it to. Also, your skull. Your skull is also incredibly hard. You really need to bump it very hard before it cracks. This is because your skull protects your brain and all the important sense organs you have in your face. Now we have to take a look at the soft one. The soft property, we need in wintertime warm and soft blankets so that you can sleep cozy. Children's toys are often made of a soft material so that they don't get injured. And if you take a look at your pencil is made from a soft wood so that you can sharpen it easy. And the graphite or the lead that's inside of the pencil also is a very soft material so that you can write neatly and draw what you want to draw without piercing through the paper. Then the last one that we're taking a look at is materials that need to be waterproof or absorbent. So some materials do need to be waterproofed. For instance, your raincoat and your umbrella, and sometimes even cell phones and watches are waterproofed. The reason for this is in order to keep all the water out and not cause damage to your clothes or mommy's hair. She would rather use an umbrella because it will spoil her hair when it gets wet, or your cell phone would just break if it hits the water and it wasn't waterproofed. But then also we need materials that absorb the water. For instance, a sponge. A sponge absorbs water to help us clean the plates. Towels, after you finish bathing or swimming, a towel takes all that water droplets from your body. It absorbs the water, therefore the towel is wet. And then we've got toilet paper. And I don't think we need to go into the toilet paper one, but a toilet paper is also absorbent. For those of you that have little brothers and sisters, their diapers are also very absorbent. In other words, when they have to use the toilet and they're not potty trained yet, if the diaper isn't absorbent, all the urine will run down their legs and the urine will burn their skin. That's why your mommy has special diaper cream for them. But if you have a good quality diaper, then it absorbs all that urine and it keeps the baby dry. We are going to end with the video here. And then next time we will go look into some more things around you. What are their properties? Why are kettles made from metal, and why are plastic bowls made from plastic, and why are wooden spoons made from wood? But for now, you can play the video again if you are unsure about anything, and then I will send the activity for you to do. I love and miss you all very much, and hopefully